Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is all about preparation on a real chessboard with no digital interface. So now you are able to understand the Ruy Lopez Marshall attack by following a 15-move line of a strong preparation. Let's jump right into it. White opens with the king's pawn, controls the center, the f5 and d5 squares, and opens up this long diagonal to the bishop, which black immediately respond with e5, contesting the center too. Instantly, white follows up with knight f3, developing the knight towards the center, attacks the e5 pawn. Knight c6 also develops the knight towards the center and protects the pawn on e5. Bishop b5, the characteristic move of the Ruy Lopez opening, developing the bishop to attack the knight on c6 and puts pressure on e5. And black goes a6, questioning the bishop to decide either go back or exchange for the knight, which white retreats his bishop and keeps the pressure on the knight, pressuring the center as well. And black immediately plays and develops another piece, knight f6, attacks the e4 pawn and also controls d5. And white plays fast too, and castles it out and puts his king on safety. A good move for white will be put his rook on e1 and defends the pawn on e4. Bishop e7 simply develops the dark square bishop, start to thinking about castling. Rook e1, defending the pawn on e4 that was hanging and centralizing the rook. b5 gains some space on the queen side and attacks the bishop. This forces the bishop to go back to b3, which white already did it. Black castles it out and puts his king on safety, and then black could put his rook on e8 and centralize it. c3 controls the center, the d4 square, and protects the b4 square also, prepares the d4 break on the center and slowly starting his plan. But black goes for action and fighting the center, d5. There you have it, the characteristic move of the Marshall attack. E takes d5, capturing the pawn on d5, and at the same time opens up the e file for the rook, creating a double attack with a knight on the e5 pawn. Knight takes d5, white fights back and starts to recapture his pawn. This is a well-known theory, guys, already played out hundreds of times before. White goes for the counterattack and grabs the pawn on e5 and puts his knight on the center of the board. Now, a good plan for black is to take the knight on e4, forces the rook to go to the center of the board, staying exposed, and then activating even more his pieces with tempo by attacking the rook with bishop d6, creating this huge scope for the bishop pair. So the plan is already started, but now the rook is making a double attack with the bishop on the knight on d5. But first, black must protect his knight with the best move of the position, c6. White should start to think about his own development. Rook e1 simply puts his rook on the safer square. And black should start to think on how to take advantage of the white's king that is a little bit exposed. There it is, bishop d6, starting the plan and creating this great scope to his bishop, and both players are blitzing it out his moves. d4, grabbing space in the center and opening this diagonal for the bishop. And white goes queen h4, makes a double attack on the pawn on h2. How does white will defend his king side? That looks very weak, with no pieces defending the king at the moment. g3, stopping the attack and also attacks the black queen at the same time, which she moves already to an active square, staying close to the white's king and controlling this diagonal. The white queen should stay on this diagonal, otherwise black can bring his bishop to here, then go here, and threatening mate on g2. Or at least could play queen to d3, keep an eye on f1 square, so she can avoid the checkmate on g2. But white finds the best move of the position and plays rook e4, threatens to play rook h4, kicking away the queen and stay on this active file. Black goes all out and defend the position, staying very active with g5, avoiding the rook to go to h4. Now white cannot take this hanging pawn on g5 with the bishop. Black will play queen f5, making a double attack to the rook and the bishop. This was a training, instructive and educational content that allows you to learn how to play this strong preparation. By following a 50-move line, you stay focused on that variation from start to finish, avoiding getting lost in excessive nuances. So you reach the end of this line with greater clarity. This preparation is very accurate because most of the moves are theory, the well-known moves played hundreds of times before, and then a few moves suggested by the computer. This content is important to you, not only to know the moves of this variant and memorize them, but to understand the line and the ideas behind. So the challenge for you to learn and improve is this great opportunity to follow these 4 steps. Comment your thoughts below. Suggest a new opening for me to do another strong preparation for you. Oh, and just subscribe to be part of this community. There is a lot of high quality preparation coming your way. A huge and sincere thank you to you.